Higher Learning is a show about adults learning interesting facts while under the influence of marijuana. This show is filmed in Vermont, where it is legal to smoke. The staff involved in the show want to be clear that we do not support its use by those too young or where it is illegal to partake in such behavior. While this show doesn't show the usage of drugs or use coarse language, it is not intended for children. Parental discretion is advised. Now, let's get to the burning and learning. Welcome to Higher Learning, a class in disjointed education. I'm your host, Craig. This is my son and test subject, Jason.
Yes.
But not this week. No quiz this week. No testing. For those that this is their first time seeing it, this is a show where my son, Jason, will consume an edible. We wait until it kicks in, and then I teach him 25 facts about a topic.
I retract my statement before the cameras rolled.
Yeah, I knew. I could tell. He was like, I don't know if it kicked in, and now he's like, oh. Anyway, trust me, I know when you're high.
Well, I don't.
That's unfortunate. Anyway. And then next week, I come in and I quiz him on these facts while he's sober to see how much he's retained. And as we like to say, we find out if he'll puff, puff, pass or...
Puff, puff, fail.
And so far, it's not a great track record.
I got 2 of them so far.
2, and we've been doing this for a little while now. This week, we're going to do 25 facts about the character of Superman.
And
he and I
wore my Dark Side shirt so I could remember better.
See, yeah, sometimes he forgets what the topic was he learned, and then he expects to pass a quiz. But I'm a Superman fan, have been my whole life. I got him to actually watch the OG movies, and he did like the first couple more.
So, like, I've come around.
He's more of like a Marvel guy, but I got him into Superman, so I was like, well, he knows a lot of Marvel stuff. Let's see if I can teach him some about the Man of Steel. First one. Superman was created by writers Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster in 1933, but the character doesn't appear in comics until 1938 when it was sold to Detective Comics, now known as DC Comics, for $130.
$130.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'd do if I had $130 and went back in time?
Buy Superman?
I'd buy Superman. I'd be the billionaire. Forget about Warner Brothers.
The original concept of Superman was he was a bald, telepathic villain bent on world domination.
Yep. The reign of the Superman. I know that.
Perry White was created for the 1940s radio show The Adventures of Superman. He appeared February 14th on the show. In the comics, he showed up in November of the same year.
Ooh, well, Valentine's Day.
But I think it's kind of interesting that like Batman has some characters that were created for animated or live TV shows prior to the comics. Same thing. This was just radio because they didn't have TV in 1940. Not much anyway. When Superman debuted, his only powers were he was faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, and able to leap tall buildings in a single bound.
Yeah.
His ability to fly was created in the 40s Superman cartoon because it was difficult to animate him bending his legs to jump.
I only like part of what I just heard.
Superman is canonically now strong enough to carry a book of infinite pages, meaning he literally has no limit to his strength. It is canon that there is no end to his strength. There is nothing that is stronger than him, which, if you ask me, answers those who would win questions.
It doesn't for me because
Kryptonite
Hulk has infinite strength. The angrier he gets, the bigger and stronger he gets.
But no.
Canonically. So, thumbs down to him.
Not exactly, but...
Exactly.
Someday I'll do one all on the Hulk, and then I'll,
prove himself wrong.
Sure. I mean, we could do more characters. I just wanted to pick one that you
didn't know as well,
but don't know as deep. Yeah.
What?
Superman can fly millions of times faster than the speed of light, which begs the question, of course, who's faster, Superman or the Flash? Well, as of currently, there are now 3 ties 5 Flash wins, and 2 Superman wins. The truth is, the Wally West Flash was slower than Barry Allen and believed Superman let him win one of his races. But later, on the run from the Justice League, Wally ran home and declared it was a race after he got there. And he's like, I won. And Superman's like, oh, I didn't know we were racing. I was just going to your house to get you.
That counts?
That counts as a win
for the Flash.
But
okay.
So it kind of evens
on behalf of people who think, so not usually me, I retract that race from the list.
I agree. But it is officially considered one.
Officially nothing.
I'm just saying.
I retract it from DC.
I mean, Wally had to kind of be a bitch about it, but whatever. Superman.
You sweared.
Yeah, that's not one of the impossible ones to get away with. Anyway, Superman has several strange powers over the years. Here's some that you might not know he had. Shape-shifting. Shooting miniature versions of himself from his hands.
Yeah.
Super hypnosis and super ventriloquism.
I knew some of those. I knew the ventriloquism, and I don't like it very much.
I did good. I actually spelled ventriloquism correct. Like, I spelt it correctly the first try.
Really?
Right.
Whoa.
Superman,
give him a round of applause, folks.
Superman actually does not need to eat or breathe air. He lives off of the solar energy of our sun alone.
Yes.
Well,
eating is nice, though.
Sure. You may be curious how his costume is fairly undamaged in most battles. It's actually not, like a lot of things, they're like, oh, it's because it was cloth from his home planet. No, that's not it at all. Actually, it's his bioelectric aura that is just above his skin, protects his skin-tight costume, and helps with his invulnerability. He, like, radiates
like a force field.
Yeah, basically. One of Superman's most recent powers is a super flare. It occurs when all of the solar energy in his body is released at once, causing a huge explosion. After the use of this power, he is now powerless for 24 hours.
Yeah. I heard about that one recently. I'm not a fan of that one.
Well, Kryptonite actually did not debut in the comics, but showed up on the radio show, just like Perry White. The voice actor for Superman wanted some time off, so they needed to find a way around his absence. So in 1943, the episode The Meteor from Krypton introduced Kryptonite to the mythos, but it still wouldn't be in the comics for 6 more years. So it was 49 before it hit the comics.
Okay.
So from 33 to 49, no comics had anything to do with it. Anyway, on the same radio show, our hero once fought the KKK, which is pretty progressive for the 1940s.
I would also like to fight the KKK.
There are actually many types of kryptonite out there. Each version has different effects. Here are the colors as of the canon currently. There's green, red, gold, white, yellow, black, silver, blue, pink, purple, magno, like a magnet, I guess, jewel, red/green, opal, and crimson. And I will say some of these are very interesting with the effects. You know that pink made him gay, which is not very progressive.
What? Making Superman gay is not progressive?
Having it only be due to his pink.
If that's not progressive, then I don't want to be.
Pink and that makes you gay seems actually really kind of.
Well, if anything, it makes it great because Supergirl got to come and save
I
the
believe
day.
blue is the one that it doesn't actually hurt Superman at all. There's actually a couple there that don't really do much. It does what green kryptonite does to Superman, can make him weak and possibly kill him if he's around it too long. But the blue, it only does that to bizarro versions of Kryptonians.
Because green and blue are
not
opposites.
Well, that's not how they did it. I mean, green and yellow aren't opposites, and that's what they went with. Or no, red and yellow aren't opposites, and that's what they went with on Flash. And green and yellow with the Green Lantern. Because there was the yellow lantern.
I think what we're getting here is yellow is bad.
Sure. Kryptonite isn't Superman's only weakness. He's also vulnerable to magic.
Yep.
Also, since he gains his power from the sun, a yellow sun, a red sun would slowly take his powers away. Also, Superman's X-ray vision is obstructed by lead.
Lead, yeah.
Number 15, Superman's original arch enemy wasn't Lex Luthor, but was supposed to be a telepathic primate named Ultra Humanity.
Ultra Humanity?
Yep.
Later, he was created
Humanite.
That sounds a lot like Grodd, though.
A little bit. Superman's original archer. Okay. In Action Comics number 700, Superman renounces his American citizenship to fight America's foreign policy. The comic books always got political.
Thumb down again.
In the 70s, there was a comic titled Superman's Girlfriend Lois Lane, and it had a story where Superman accidentally turned Lois Lane into a black woman for a day.
Excuse me?
This also seems not maybe the greatest politically correct story, but, you know.
Oops. What? I did this to you. I'm so sorry. What?
In the 90s, a canceled Superman movie was going to be directed by Tim Burton and star Nick Cage as Superman. While the movie was never made, Cage was paid $20 million.
Heck.
Give me $20 million and I won't play Superman either.
Heck yeah.
There's a lot of other options for me. Lois Lane temporarily had Superman's powers in a graphic novel called All-Star Superman. She had gained him. George Reeves, who played Superman in the 50s, claimed that a young boy wanted to shoot him with a gun to see if the bullet would bounce off his chest.
Yep.
Reeves then told the boy that would be dangerous as it would ricochet off me and hit someone else. It's unknown if that story was actually true or if he was just...
It got put into a movie about him.
Well, he told that story, but he was the only one there, so it's just we can take his word maybe, but anyway. Clark Kent's glasses are not the only thing that hides his true identity. It's also been explained that he changes his body language, deepens his voice, and acts differently as Clark Kent. It's also been stated that since he doesn't wear a mask, many people don't even think that Superman had a secret identity, so they don't
look for it.
Yeah, they're not looking for people that look like him because they just assume he's always Superman. And the reason he doesn't wear a mask, to gain people's trust, because it's easier to trust someone if you could see their face.
I mean, that's a dude right there. That guy, such a cool guy.
Superman has some strange alternate universe versions of himself you might not know about, including a Centaur version, an Amish Superman, Communist Superman. You knew about that. I
knew about Communist Superman.
Tarzan Superman.
Sure.
Black Superman, who was actually the first black president in his universe.
Steele?
A Nazi Superman named Overman. And a Bruce Wayne Superman, where Batman's parents not only live, but adopt Superman after Bruce Wayne dies at infancy. So they're the ones who adopt him and raise him. So he's like a Batman-Superman amalgam.
That would be a lot less good.
Well, the original, number 23, the original reason for Lex Luthor's hatred towards the Man of Steel was Superman had made Lex bald. As you've probably guessed, they have made better reasons for Lex's hatred since then. But that was the OG.
No, I really liked they went to school together and in an accident, he made him bald.
Here's a really cool idea. Did you know making this motion on your chest is the American Sign Language for Superman? Just drawing
an S on your own chest is...
That's American Sign Language for Superman.
Good.
And the last one, Superman once went on a double date with Spider-Man in a crossover comic.
That's cool.
He's also crossed over, this is an extra thing, with Thor and got to hold aloft, how do you say that?
Mjolnir.
Yeah, that, Mjolnir.
He had Mjolnir and the shield in this super cool, picture-perfect moment that will never get on the silver screen.
What they need is to do
to get over themselves.
The comics where they combine the DC and Marvel universes, because there was a Superman slash what's his name? Captain America called Super Soldier, and it had the super written like Superman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, let's not talk about things that aren't going to be quizzed because you'll get extra confused.
I'll pitch it right now. Marvel and DC need to get together. Well, maybe. But no. Marvel and DC need to get together, give basically all creative control to the DC animated studios. Because they know what they're doing when they're doing, and do an animated Marvel DC crossover. Theaters. Yes, 100%. I'm starting it right now. Sign the petition.
He's not starting anything.
Probably not. I won't remember.
Lazy for that.
But somebody else started for me.
Before this ends up being super duper long,
I have been your high, Jason.
No, this has been dork. This has been Higher Learning for the week. Next week, we're going to come in, and I'm going to quiz him about Superman, and we're going to find out, like I said, can he puff, puff, pass?
Or puff, puff, fail.